That's the big thing about Mark 7. Negative or reverse psychology. Jesus knew that. Remember every time, don't tell anyone. Even the transfiguration, remember? He told Peter and James and John, tell no one. Because they had a glimpse of heaven right there. They saw Jesus talking to Elijah and Moses. Moses representing the law, Elijah representing the prophets. Tell no one, so that they will tell everyone. It's just like, even your children know this. If you have young children, I have something in the fridge, please don't eat it. You see that blue plastic container? Do not eat it. I don't care if you're hungry, don't eat it. What will be the urge? They want to taste it. Is that the same with adults? Like us? Is that the same? Remember my story before? The drawer? I'm going to go upstairs. I have a meeting upstairs. Maybe about 20 minutes. I don't care what you do, but don't open that drawer. I don't care who comes. Do not open that drawer until I come back. And what will be what is that urge? First urge as soon as I leave. To check what's in that drawer. And we're talking adults, we're not talking children. One big point about last Sunday's gospel. I didn't quite hear it in the homily last Sunday, but I think it's a good thing to know. Number one, away from the crowd. See, he ordered them not to tell anyone. And the more he ordered them not to, the more they proclaimed it. That's what Jesus wanted. What do you think would have happened if Jesus said, okay, make sure you tell them, okay? You tell them that I made you speak, I made you hear. Probably he won't do it. So reverse psychology works many times. Away from the crowd. Jesus invites me to be alone with him so that he can reveal himself to my soul and heal the impediments that keep me from communicating his love and truth to others. I underline it for you because that's the cream of that paragraph. See it? You know, today I was in Manhattan, and every time I go anywhere near Herald Square, I pass by St. Francis. You know the church? The Church of St. Francis of Assisi, 32nd, between 6 and 7, close to Madison Square Garden. There's a church there, and I visited him. And I told him what I wanted to tell him. I said, hi Jesus, I'm here. That's why I took the 5:30 bus. Now, again, let's read that because it's very important. Jesus invites me to be alone with him so that he can reveal himself to my soul and heal the impediments that keep me from communicating Jesus' love and Jesus' truth to other people. What am I saying here? Normal Catholics, they don't want to speak about God. They want to communicate about the love of Jesus Christ, about the truth of Jesus Christ. They'd rather quiet down and remain silent. And what is keeping you from doing that? I told you in Mark chapter 7, Jesus said, do not tell anyone, but his intention was to have this word spread around. That Jesus could heal, that Jesus could open ears, that he could make tongues speak. He could do that. But who among us who have been spreading that word around. You know, Jesus heals. Who of us do that?
I do that. At work.
Whenever you have the chance, spread the word, communicate. Spend quiet time with the Lord, and then ask Him to heal us of this shyness, of our cowardice. Give us the strength, give us the courage to spread the word. His love and His truth, those two things. That Jesus loves us, and that His truth is the truth that will set us free. John. You know, today I was waiting for the bus in Brunswick Park, and I saw a group of 4 ladies who are Jehovah's Witnesses. And then this young lady who was not too far from me started walking towards, there's this little store there. And those 4 ladies confronted her and surrounded her and started showing her literature. You know what is the urge in me? I could hardly control. To go there and barge into conversation. But it's a good thing, but she was strong enough to just simply reject it, and then she got, oh, okay, I didn't have to do it. St. Peter, in his second epistle says, at any moment you must be prepared and ready to defend the reason for your faith. St. Peter says that in his epistle. Read or without notice, you must be ready to defend the reason for your faith. Are you? It doesn't have to be in the church. Chances are, it will be outside. Just one thing, be kind, be polite, be courteous, and the idea is not to win arguments. I've been telling you that. The idea is not to win arguments. You know, the Mormon couldn't answer that. You know what? The reason we're talking is because I want to win souls. I don't want to win arguments. Although, in my mind, I knew I could win arguments because they were wrong. And I was telling him, the idea is to win souls, not arguments. And he was a little bit bothered by that, so he couldn't say anything. Remember that. Defend the faith, but be kind, be courteous, be polite, okay? And most of all, don't aim at winning arguments. Aim at winning souls. Remember the greatest act of charity? The greatest act of charity is to take souls to Jesus. Nothing is greater than that. You can give bread. You have a lot of bread. Give away. You have a lot of bread. You can give bread. You can give money. You can help. If you're a doctor, you can cure with the permission of God. But nothing is greater than bringing souls to Jesus Christ. Nothing. So the greatest act of charity is to bring souls to God. Nothing is greater than that. I like the second one. If you look at the second one, many times our healing requires a human effort. We cannot just pray to be healed. We have to go to the doctor. God always requires action on our part. Do you remember the woman at the well? OTD. The woman at the well, when Jesus and her, they were talking, and of course she wasn't understanding at the beginning. She became a great, great apostle. When Jesus said, "The water that I give, you'll never thirst again." That's mind-boggling. Give me this water. I don't want to keep coming here every day to the well and fetch water. If you have water that I will never thirst again, I want this water. Give me this water. Of course, he wasn't understanding. Remember the conversation? And what did Jesus ask? I, a Jew, you, a Samaritan, can you please give me water to drink from the well? He didn't have a pail himself. He didn't have a glass of nothing, just fetch me water. So Jesus requires action in our part. The wedding at Cana, there were empty jars. What did he say? Fill this up with water. That's work. You know, they didn't have water supply as we do now. All you do is turn on the faucet and bzzz, bzzz, that's easy, right? They didn't have that. They had to fetch water from the well and fill those up. That's hard labor. Jesus wanted us to do something first. Need action from our part. He will do his part. He will not just make it happen like that, you doing nothing. Understand? And that's the point in number 2. There's human effort to heal. If you want to get healed, what do? You pray and that's it? Or you go to the doctor? Pray and go to the doctor. That God will guide those hands to prescribe to you the right medication. Number 3, speak plainly. If I have truly encountered Christ, the fog that veils my mind and muddles my speech will be removed. That is the bottom line of Mark chapter 7. Whatever is fogging our mind, you know, fog makes visibility very poor, right? If there's too much fog, you can barely see. And then also our speech is muddled. So what do? If we encounter Christ, all those are gone. All those are gone. Just speak plainly. Monday, I ask you, is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath rather than to do evil, to save life rather than destroy it? You know the story here. The man with the withered hand, and it was Sabbath. And they were watching him if he would kill him. He did, of course.
So that reminds me of the story of why make something for tomorrow when you can do today? And it happens to be Sabbath day. So.
His hand was restored. Number 1, teaching and doing. Jesus preached only what he was willing to put into practice himself. In other words, he practices what he preaches. This needs to be told all the preachers, and I'm the first, to be reminded. I must practice what I preach. And everybody does. That's the reason why the scandals in the church, it's such a big deal. Because they're preaching chastity, they're preaching holiness, and then they themselves are not. See the point? But there are not that many of them. There are less than 1% of them. But that doesn't excuse anyone. Number 2, doing good regardless of what others think. That's self-explanatory. But many of us us will get touched by it. You think about it. If you have to do something, do you always consider what others will think if people see you do it?
Maybe when I was younger, doing that now.
Are you sure?
More often than not.
Let's say you have your office mates with you and you saw a quarter on the floor. That's a quarter. Would you stop the conversation and pick it up and then continue the conversation? Or would you be ashamed to do it because you are with your office mates? So, called comrades. Would you? You pick it up?
And split it.
How do you split that point? Would you? Those of us who have children who are young adults, high schoolers, when they're in high school, they're ashamed that they're seen by their classmates with you. And I'm very familiar with that. Am I ringing a bell here? When you used to drop them when they're small, that's fine. You just drop them off and drop them by the gate, and the crossing guard will take care of them. But when they're growing, teenagers, 13, 14, 15, can you stop here? Stop. And then they will just walk to wherever they're going. Because they're ashamed they'll be seen by their friends with their parents. Were you like that too? When you were young? But what's the reason? Why are they ashamed? They're worried about what their classmates would say. They're worried about what their classmates would think about them. How did you come here? I came here by myself. Because they want to show their independence. They want to show that they can stand on their own 2 feet. Although not true, but you understand? Now, again, my point, I've said this many times. The only opinion that matters is God's. If you're okay with God, who cares what people think? That's the bottom line. And number 3, saving life. I must learn from Jesus how to be a beacon of light and life amid the divisive culture of egoism and death that surrounds me. Beacon of light. Life from conception to natural death. Tuesday, Jesus departed to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. Imagine that, Luke chapter 6. Some other Christians criticize Catholics for saying long prayers. Have you been to the prayers for the dead? Really long. You'll be kneeling down for like 1 hour and a half or more, straight. That's very long. Now some other Christians